Hey guys, Ryan here with another stock chart video. Today we're going to be looking at the chart of SPY, S&P 500 SPDR. Changing it up a little bit. Market took a had a little bit of a bad day today, so let's just kind of see where we think things may be heading. Um, Basically, just maybe where I bought in, maybe where I sold out, where I think this thing could be going. Use some momentum indicators, range bound indicators, look at volume. But let's get started. So right here we're starting actually just at the beginning of 2020, January 2020. We'll notice it kind of took a nosedive here, went from 339 down to 224, 223, all the way back up to this area here. We could have bought in here, most likely. It's a possibility. We could have got in at this point, but let's just say we do not own this stock as of right now. So if we did not buy here, we were not watching it apparently. So let's look to see what it does. But we've got our range. It's a pretty wide range at this point, 338, 223, and most likely it's going to trend higher. Should have been in this. It's pretty easy to own SPY. It's it's not a bad index to own, or any of the S&P 500 index stocks. Just treads higher. So I mean, you could enter this position almost anywhere here, really. And I mean, it's the S&P, so um, trending higher. But you'll notice volume is starting to decline, so you may want to wait for a little pullback here. Most likely, we're going to get something. I would assume. I would hope. Um, and this could be it. Yeah, a little drawdown. I would be looking to add here though. Um, just because of the name. And could this be the turning point? It could. Could we add here? Very possible. But could it continue downward? Sure. And just going sideways. Kind of a cup. Small little cup. Small little handle. Probably going to break down a little bit. Starting to create this 358 to 322 range. Back upward. 350, 326. You could buy here possibly as well. I would, this would be more of a long-term hold if I was going to buy in these levels. But if you did, you just got paid. That is, if you sold, but if you continue to hold, that's probably the better play. So let's see if this breaks above this high. It looks like it wants to. We got like a W-shaped pattern here. Buyers did come back in. Stochastic's looking fine. Everything looks in order for this thing to, tread just a little bit higher if it wants to. So I would have liked to have been in this. I would have liked to have gotten in one of these little pullbacks here. And if you did, if you bought, let's say 326, yeah, the stock is already up to 370. So that's the nice thing about indexes. Especially if you're looking long term, which if I'm going to be buying the SPY, I'm going to be looking at it a little bit differently than some of the other stocks that I get into. I wouldn't be now another stock. I'd be willing to pretty much swear that this was going to be just a short-term trend. But with the way the SPY and the way the S&P acts, this could easily go continue. So I mean, you may have these little pullbacks where you could just continue to add, but really this SPY can be one of the easiest money makers out there. If you're especially if you're in a bull market. If it's continuing consolidating sideways for 2 years, that's a different story. But I mean, with this Fed heavy, money printing heavy, type economy, it's kind of a no-brainer. It's an easy play. So we'll say we're in it down here. Let's see where it goes, and just continues to kind of Meander a little bit sideways, breaks above 380. It's like, yep, I can break above that. That's a piece of cake. So should we add on the next dip? Why not? Let's see how far it drops. Would we buy here? You could. You could add here. Notice just these little tiny dips. And it reverts right back up. It's just staying right on course, man. This is like, man, it's crazy, isn't it? So if you bought down here or over here, you added here. So now, if you bought 328, 335, it's almost at 400. It's at the 390 range. Looks like it could be getting exhausted though. Some sellers could be coming in here. What do we want to do? If we bought here, probably set a stop for this one and probably take a little profit too if this dips back down a little bit. But let's see where it goes. So always good to have stop losses in place. You'll notice this kind of like rounded curve action. Definitely different than this trend here. Let's see how far below it breaks this mid-Keltner channel. Breaks below for a second, bounces, down again. Let's see if it bounces. Nope, does not. Depends on where your stops are. With the SPY, you could let it kind of go a little bit. Could this be a buying opportunity? Yeah. This one is a little more worrisome. This one looks to me like it's going to kind of revert back to maybe the 350 or below range. So, but I could be wrong. Let's take a look. But yeah, you got some major red volume here. There's probably some people taking some profits from this run. And you know what? You shouldn't be overly greedy. Okay, so does it bounce? It looks like it may. And it does. It hits over 400. So hopefully we didn't take profit. It depends on where we had our stop loss. You know what? This is SPY. Why take a profit like that? Nah. My stop losses for SPY are usually 20 points out. It's if I'm up already, which most likely in SPY you're gonna be, um, set a good stop loss. Just not too tight. It doesn't have to be like giving everything back, but I mean, there's no reason to set the SPY stop tight. No reason at all. I mean, look at this thing. This thing just wants to chug higher. So, as of what I saw here, it didn't look good, but it totally reverted right back up. So could we buy here? Yeah, you could. You could add here. Or you could have added right here to see that you're still continuing on that mid Keltner channel line there. So we're still in this hopefully. And it's just chugging higher. Chugging higher. And look at that. Just staying right above that middle line. Nothing to worry about. Nothing to concern yourself with. Breaks below it for a second. Could you buy here? Sure. Why not? It's SPY. It's going to break back up, isn't it? And maybe not. Is it going to start to turn? Yeah, we'll see. And look at that. It's at 420 now, 425 range. Broke right above that middle Keltner channel. Flirted with it for a second and broke right above it. Didn't take long. So what do we see as the pattern with this, man? Any slight dip on SPY is a buying opportunity at this point. I mean, okay, so if it starts to get a little exhausted up here, you bought this thing 100 points ago, start to set your stops a little tighter. Maybe take a little profit here, take a little profit there, but it's SPY, man. It's continuing to just do what it does. So let's just continue on. Breaks below that middle line. Not majorly concerned unless you bought here recently. You're down on that at the moment, but that could change very quickly. And it does. Look at that. Man, oh man. Is this like clockwork or what? This, it's a good way to make some money, guys. Take a look at that. That was a buy opportunity. So, just keeps trucking higher, man. Wow. Okay. So, and another opportunity. What do you think, guys? What do you think? Comments below. You think that's going higher? I bet it reverts back up. And it does. I promise you, I did not look at this. I promise you. This is just SPY doing its thing, man. Look at this. This is the first time I've analyzed this. Now, yes, was I in this stock? Yes. Do I remember how it acted? Oh, another buying opportunity? Depends on our position, I guess. You know, if we bought way back here, we bought here and there and there. Just depends how much you want to put in SPY. I mean, look at this thing. This thing has been chugging along beautifully. I'd add some more there. Sure. Why not? Set a tight stop. We just added at 442. Reverts down a little. What do you think, guys? Flirting? Look at that. Breaking. So, you think we got a top here? Boy, that's kind of a small little death cross, isn't it? Goodness gracious. 453. Let's see where it goes. May want to take a little bit of profit at this point, but it could easily bounce back up just because it's SPY. And that's where we're at. Well, okay. Now, so that's where we are to date, guys. Boy, this was a quick video, but what do we see right now? You know, so if we made a lot of money in this, you know, if we got in 100 points ago or so, 100 or more, don't be greedy, man. Set some stops. Make sure you don't lose a lot of money. A low risk play in SPY. Now, what do we see though? We saw all these little slight drops here as buying opportunities. I mean, it dipped below that mid-Celt, buy. Dip below that mid-Celt, buy. Dip below that mid-Celt, buy. Below mid-Celt, buy. Below mid-Celt, I don't know. This is where we are today. But this looks to be a little bit more committed. You know, look at this. You got big red bar. You got succession of red bars. Slight reversal for a second, but looks like we have a 454 top at the moment. Looks like some sellers are going to come in. This rode a heck of a wave. I gotta think it's time to take some profit. So that's where we are today, guys. I appreciate you watching. Comment below. Tell me what you think. Should we short this market? What do you think? Have a blessed day. Goodbye.